What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and a double dip on the Bud Light story today. It seems like a little bit of a slow news cycle this week, but I think it's important to encourage people and to point out successes. People often talk to me, ask me for positive news stories. Well, I think that the average consumer, just a regular old consumer, rising up and putting this level of impact in a company, in particular when it's not a leftist, is practically unheard of. Can you think of another time in the modern era where, and I don't think it's just a conservative thing. I mean, just regular people rising up and saying enough is enough to actually do this level of damage. And we're not done yet. Oh, we're far from it. As new news of concert festivals pulling it and a wide variety of other things, it just keeps getting worse for Bud Light. And we're going to get into that after a super quick word from a sponsor that does not get political, and that is Meta PCs. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Meta PCs. Look, you've been around, you know that I've been talking about Meta PCs for a very long time. In fact, it's the primary computer I use. But it's not just because they're a sponsor. It's for so many more reasons. They have fully customizable, configurable PCs and all the hardest to find parts in stock and ready to go. They also have ready to ship PCs ready for you today. Here's a couple of reasons why I like Meta PCs. First and foremost, it's veteran ownership. Meta PCs is a veteran-owned business. One of Meta's owners has served both in Afghanistan and Iraq and received a Purple Heart for his service. Meta also employs military veterans in Meta's Operations Center and also provides systems to veterans going back to school to help them re-enter the workforce all across the United States. They offer financing. It has 100% US-based sales and support. And when you receive your PC, it's ready to go right out of the box. So you don't have to get complicated and set things up. You just plug it all in and you're ready to rock. And on top of that, Meta PCs is offering you, my viewer, a huge discount when you use the link in the description or you use promo code TheQuartering. If you use my code at checkout, not only do you save money, but you support my content and a company that will not bow to cancel culture. So maybe you're not ready to pick up a new computer today, but when you are, remember to go to metapcs.com and use promo code TheQuartering to support me and to save money. And everybody wins. Hey, I know you're probably not in the market this instant, but it's the computer I use. It's the computer my assistant uses. It's the laptop I use. It's what I recommend to friends and family. And if you use my promo code TheQuartering, you'll save some money and maybe they'll stick around and continue to sponsor the channel. They're excellent computers. So when you're in market, let me know. Bud Light sales drop again, sparking boycotter celebrations. Bud Light sales have dropped for the third week in April following backlash over a partnership between the beer brand and Dylan Mulvaney, according to industry monitors. Figures from the trade newsletter. And I'm just going to do the quick sales overview, and then we're going to look at the other more interesting stuff. Beer Business Daily, cited by Barron, shows sales outside of beer outside the hospitality, meaning outside of restaurants, fell 26% in the week ending April 22nd. And I suspect it will be even bigger this week if you all keep spreading the word. And that's the thing. This is exactly what I'm talking about with, I said, wait till we get the grocery store numbers. They kept saying, oh, well, Bud's the same, and our pours are down like 6%. So wait until the everyman, the one that actually buys cans or bottles in the grocery store, wait for our numbers to show up. Because sometimes you're at, musical events, or if your stadium's anything like mine, they only have certain beers there. There are fewer options. And, ultimately, this meant this boycott came down to Joe Everyman. This follows reports, obviously, that had seen, the report of 17% decline in the week before. So what's more interesting here is that it's picking up steam. And I talked about in my first video today how there is actually a negative halo effect that's affecting other brands, and other things are being affected. You can see this. Most bars at popular music festival didn't serve Bud Light. This via Outkick. Bud Light reportedly wasn't really flowing during Stagecoach. The popular musical festival from last Friday through last Sunday at the California event was packed with Luke Bryan, Kane Brown, Chris Stapleton, Tyler I don't know any of these people. I assume they're country music people. However, one thing didn't appear as much as concert goers might have anticipated was Bud Light. Variety reported that the Bud Light Backyard Sage served the beer, but most other bars were not even offering it whatsoever. One unnamed person told the outlet, "I don't really agree with their terms. The recent ad campaign, I didn't like how they appealed to the LGBTQ community. I'm not saying I don't support that community, but just don't force that in my life." Well, I think that that's extremely reasonable. I think that's the position that most of us also have. It's like, look, live and let live, but also don't cram it down my throat, please and thank you. It's just the latest blow for Bud Light after the brand decided to team up, of course, with Dylan. Since then, beer under the Anheuser-Busch umbrella has been getting crushed. And what's going to be interesting is if they actually lose their number one spot. You can see this tweet from yesterday. Bud Light sales continue to get absolutely obliterated and are down 25% from a year ago. This might be the greatest example of go woke, go broke in history. I wish people would just say get woke, go broke. It just sounds better. I know I'm picky about it, but anyway. And this is the thing, like, if you look at the stock for Bud Light, it's not doing well. And its competitors are. And, some people are saying, you don't know what you're talking about with stock, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I can look at a chart and tell you that this doesn't look good over the past 5 days. It's not really headed in any direction. I mean, it's headed in one direction, and that's down. It's down significantly. And I mean, if you look at, it's actually owned by InBev. So if you go to InBev stock, you can see it's down 1.5% today, 4.37% over the past 5 days. People are like, man, the whole stock market's down. Okay, well, let's take a look at Bud Light, and Coors maybe. Let's see. Or I'm sorry, not Bud Light. Hello, Miller stock. Let's see what that's doing. It's down a little bit today, but you can see it's already recovering. It's headed back north. If we look at Coors stock, Coors Light, that's up 8%. So no, I don't think that this is the market thing is down. I think that you've got a whole kind of movement here. And I think Tommy Lahren really put this correctly. And, it's the fact of the matter. It's the acknowledgement. I thought Tommy had a good take on it. Political commentator Tommy Lahren has said conservatives will continue to boycott Bud Light until they acknowledge the mistake they made after their disastrous partnership with Dylan Mulvaney. This is my point. Like, there is no just forgive and forget, put a country music commercial on and pay some country music star a bunch of money to use their song for a commercial. That's not what this is about. This is about Bud Light acknowledging what they did. We already see that they are doing some corrections, some corrective stuff. Let's see.
Bud Light getting called out for turning off YouTube comments for its new commercial featuring friends enjoying beer at a country commercial, tell you.
Yeah, they also turned off comments in their commercial, which was to be expected. Now, they left them on for all their other videos, so people are just flooding those.
Let's talk about the drop first of all. That tells me that conservative consumers matter, and I think that Bud Light and all other companies out there are starting to realize that the hard way, that for so long conservatives, we get angry and offended by things, but then we never do anything about it. We don't come together like the left does to send a message or make a statement.
Tommy Lahren's 100% correct about that. The left is exceedingly good at boycotting and organizing, coordinating, getting things trending on Twitter. The right is not. Now, I think that this boycott is bigger than just conservatives because I think the larger group of people are centrists or apolitical people that are just like, can we get enough? Can we have enough of this?
But now with this Bud Light commercial and this backlash, it shows that conservatives, in fact, do matter. Now, I will say this. I wish conservatives could come together and vote like they came together to boycott Bud Light.
I mean, that's fair enough, too. Speaking of Fox News, 30-year-old conservatives, consumers matter until they come out and acknowledge. They say, until they come out and actually acknowledge it head on, conservatives are still going to be upset and will not be drinking Bud Light beer. I can promise you that. I completely agree with that. Now, again, this puts Bud in a interesting pickle because I think what people really want is them to acknowledge, hey, we're sorry we spat in the face of biological women and this, that, and the other thing. I just don't think they could do that. I think that would absolutely completely destroy their brand. So there's a reason the company hasn't tweeted in 3 weeks. Lauren had been responding to a Bud Light commercial that launched, which was a clear nod to American country music and its fans and designed to appeal to a more traditional market. The company had to resort to disabling comments on the YouTube video after being criticized for it. I mean, that's the thing. I don't think, it could have been anybody. Could have been anybody. In this case, it was Bud Light. People have finally put their foot down and said enough is enough. It certainly could have been any other company. It could have been, we had like mini boycotts with Nike and mini little backlashes with, Maybelline and Ulta. But where it really hit was Bud Light. You can see this again, Bud Light down 26.1%, where Coors Light and Miller Lite are up 13.3 and 13.6. I mean, it's literally a mirror image. This is 26.9% increase in sales from its two primary competitors compared to a 26.1% drop for Bud Light. I mean, even Donald Trump Jr. is crying about ending the boycott. Maybe it's because his dad's got a bunch of money in the Budweiser stock, or they're a big donator. That's why Trump's kind of not said anything about it. I think Trump could have won some real points if he had jumped in on that, but that's for a different video, I suppose. I think, Anheuser-Busch went and hired 2 Republican lobbyists last week to try and figure out how can we, re-engage these people when any idiot will tell them for free, like me, I'm that idiot. The only option Bud Light has is to come out and apologize, acknowledge what they did, apologize for it, and issue some sort of mea culpa to their viewers, their customers, which I actually don't think they can do. I think they're just totally screwed by this. And the minute Modelo passes them as the #1 beer in America is going to be a true moment of humiliation in history for Bud Light. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it and you click that red subscribe button down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.